Hey guys, in yesterday's episode of StewTube, I had went over a few levels of interest for me, and you can see that a few things have happened since then. We did actually get this little wick down below our 200-week moving average. You guys who have been following along with my channel here will know that's a very important level in my opinion. I've been watching that for weeks now at this point. I do love the fact that we did have a weekly candle above that moving average. The fact that we did drop this little wick here down below that isn't the end of the world. I did mention in last night's video that this could be the case. I was hoping that we would just bounce directly off this moving average and then go up from there. The fact that we wicked down below it, it's a little alarming that the bulls never stepped right in at that level, but you know what? We are back above it so far at this point. So as long as this weekly candle can kind of remain above that, or at least close the week above that, I would be happy. But on a more immediate time frame here, I was also pointing out this downward sloping red channel and how I was kind of looking to play it very similar to this yellow sloping channel that I kept you guys up to date with on Twitter when I entered a retest along this support line here when we reclaimed this descending channel. It was a beautiful position. Hopefully you guys were able to capitalize on that, as it was a bit of a play-by-play on Twitter there. If you don't follow me there, follow me. It's StewTube Trading, all one word. But yeah, in last night's video, I was basically outlining that I would like a break of this red downward sloping just channel. One thing I didn't like about it is that we only had our 2 touch points at that point at the time of recording. I can't remember, we were somewhere in this range here. But yeah, I didn't really like the fact that we only had 2 touch points, so I figured that we would need a 3rd touch point before getting a proper breakout. So as you can see, we did get a little bit of a fake out, but once again, it was only our 3rd touch point, so seeing a rejection there, a little bit of a fake out, wasn't all too surprising. What I did talk about though was that even if we dropped our 200-week moving average, I did have this more micro time frame support box, this green box here, that could potentially find us a little bit of support, and lo and behold, that is exactly where the price was able to find a little bit of support. The fact that this box was lining up with my downward sloping support line of the red channel, I did take a little bit of a long position here at around, what was it, 22,828 or something like that. Yeah, that's what that was. I never did get my second entry. I had another one right at the bottom of this green support box, really hoping to catch a little wick there. Never happened, and the fact that I've started taking profits, once we got back to the top of my the resistance of this channel, I did close out half my position and updated my stop loss to break even. Got very close to being stopped out on the rest of my position, but it's still in there, so I'm hoping that the price is able to stay up from here. I would like the bulls to be able to carry that position a little bit higher for me. I did remove this other entry along the bottom of this box just because if we get there again, I'm not sure if the bulls are going to be able to hold this level. Not to say I won't re-enter another position there. If I get stopped out and we get something nice happening here, whether it's a double, triple bottom, something like that with a bullish divergence or just something that catches my eye, I may enter along that box again, but for now I'm just going to leave my position how it is. Just because I have taken a bit of profits and I can't lose, that's a good position to be in. So that's kind of what I've been watching there. Just remove some of these just to clean things up for you guys. Once again, wasn't all too surprising that we got a rejection here. Not only the 3rd touch point of my downward sloping resistance line, but I was also pointing out this horizontal red resistance box. And I said that I would really like to see the bulls get us back above this box, reclaim it as support, and then carry on higher. So the fact that these two resistances kind of lined up well together makes a lot of sense that there was a bit of a rejection there. Now that we do have our 3rd touch point along this resistance line of this channel, I would love to see the bulls be able to push the price above, get some sort of a retest, and then actually reclaim this horizontal resistance box. I think if we can get back above this box, treat it as support, I think Bitcoin would be in a very nice position to carry on a little higher. I would love to see the price able to break out and actually just totally eclipse this high that we set back here. And if we are able to get a proper breakout, guys, I wouldn't be too surprised to see us getting close to that 28,000 mark. There's a whole bunch of reasons for this. One, if I hop over to my 4-hour chart here, I have this downward sloping resistance line here. It's the purple line. It is all the way back from our 69,000 all-time high and then just touching down here. So in my opinion, this is going to be a significant level of interest for the market. Once again, I would really like to see a third touch point before we break out. So if we could get another rise up to about 28,000, kind of just pull back a little bit and then attack it once again, and then get some sort of a resist to support flip and reclaim this red resistance box, I think Bitcoin would be in a very nice position there. Another thing, just kind of looking where my red resistance box lines up with my downward sloping resistance line here. If I hop over to my daily chart, I know I've pointed this out on previous videos, but this was just an obvious level of support for, well, all the way, well, back about a year and a half at this point. You can see that the bulls did have a bit of interest at this level. You can see that we got some very nice rallies off of this box here, seeing over 100% pumps to the upside after finding support at this level. So it is a strong level in the market, and typically what you'd want to see in a healthy trend, if it's a downtrend, you would want to see support flip into resistance. And the fact that this was a fairly significant level of support, wouldn't be all too surprising to see some harsh resistance in that level now that we're attacking it from the underside. It doesn't have to be that way. We could absolutely just blast off through, and if we're able to consolidate on top of this resistance and flip it into support once again, specifically on top of this old cluster here, I think we'd be sitting very good. I think Bitcoin would be primed to make some very large moves to the upside. But there could be a lot of weeks or even months between now and then before we see that kind of a move. So I think just for the immediate short term here, we're more so looking at this channel that I was just pointing out on my hourly chart and just reclaiming that little red resistance box here. I think then we can start talking about targeting that $28,000 level. Something just to watch out for if we are able to set a higher high above this high back here is that we may actually have a little bit of an upward sloping resistance line. Just something to keep in mind, that if you're going to set a very tight, let's say a momentum long just above this high here, you might actually have resistance climbing very slightly, so you may still get a harsh fake out rejection back to the downside. So just something to be careful about there. If we do end up dropping my little micro green box here, the immediate levels I'd be watching for some sort of a bounce setup, whether it's a double bottom or bullish divergence, whatever. I'd be interested in starting to watch some Fibonacci lines. You guys know how I feel about the 618 and the 786. Those are my favorite fib lines to watch. So if we could get some sort of a bullish setup off one of those levels, that would be absolutely beautiful, or right in between the two, even if we got some sort of a double bottom and started climbing from there, that would be beautiful too. But yeah, those are just a few things that I wanted to go over for you guys, because I know I pointed out this downward sloping just channel here, which is generally a bullish pattern as long as the bulls are able to push it towards the upside, get that support flip, and carry on from there. So we're gonna have to watch how this plays out. I see that the price is kind of starting to pull back just a little bit here, so if we drop back down towards that 22,830-ish, I'm going to be stopped out of the rest of my position. Like I said, I already took half my profits, so I'm just going to let the rest of my position ride here. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at in the immediate short term here, you guys. So if you appreciated this quick little market update, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And with that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.